Why haven't we had a real estate crash yet? Is the real estate bubble about to burst? Hey friends, I'm Amy Robinson, a licensed real estate specialist here in the DC, Northern Virginia area. You have probably heard that the real estate market is about to crash or that the real estate bubble will burst, leaving you feeling nervous about our real estate market right now. In this video, I will talk all about the real possibilities of a market crash and the changes we are already seeing. First, we have to talk about the current real estate market. We are seeing some changes happening in the market. Realtors are starting to use the term softening to describe this shift in our real estate market. What does this mean though? While we still have a strong demand for homes, loan applications are on the decline due to lack of consumer confidence. This uncertainty has much to do with mortgage rate increases and the constant uptick in inflation. Consumers need to feel confident in entering into a long-term financial commitment to buy a house. Buying a house today with home price increases and mortgage rate increases means buyers are paying approximately 27% more for a home today than just a few years ago. Demand has started to slow, but it's not at a standstill. We are still seeing multiple offers on homes, but instead of 30 offers, we see numbers closer to 5 to 10, depending on the property location and condition. With mortgage rate increases, even if we see half the buyers priced out of our local market, 5 offers on a home are enough to send the final purchase price way over asking and still leave the buyers that lost out in need of finding another home. Now let's talk more about these interest rate hikes and how they affect buyers. Yes, we all got used to the historically low rates in the past few years, but rate increases will not affect all buyers. Until we see double-digit mortgage rates, I don't believe it will shorten the buyer pool sufficiently to decrease demand or slow home value appreciation. But with all this information and the fact that we are already seeing changes in the real estate market here near DC and Northern Virginia, are we headed for a market crash or a bursting real estate bubble? Today's market conditions are very different than the mid-2000s, around 2006 and 7. What happened in 2008 is we had an oversupply of homes available. We had roughly a 12-month supply of homes available for sale, and as I've said before, a healthy balanced market is to have 6 months supply of homes available. We also saw a flood of foreclosures hitting the market, adding even more inventory and leading to a nightmare. Getting a loan back then was difficult because lenders were shutting down. We saw so many foreclosures then because people bought overpriced houses while underqualified based on today's responsible lending standards. Many of these buyers had adjustable rate mortgages and could only afford the mortgage while it was low. As soon as the interest rates adjusted, their payments doubled, making it impossible for them to afford their homes. Market supply conditions today are dramatically different too. We have less than a 2-month supply of homes available for sale, about 1/3 of what is considered a healthy market. Builders are trying to catch up with demand but have faced significant supply chain issues. Buyer demand is demographically based, so it's not a false demand. The average age of a first-time homebuyer is 33, and millennials, which are the largest generation in US history, are close to this average first-time homebuyer age. Even with mortgage rates around 5%, they are still lower than the 7 to 8% loans we saw in 2008. The other important factor to consider is that most home buyers in the past few years are not first-time home buyers, which lenders consider to be the riskiest type of loan. In the Great Recession, first-time home buyers made up more than 45% of loans compared to roughly 20% of first-time home buyers today. So most home sales are in the move-up market because many people have taken advantage of the increased equity in their homes and have used this to put a sizable down payment on their next home, keeping their monthly mortgage payments roughly the same. Another major factor to look at is the increase in rental prices. These have been increasing as quickly as home prices. It's also vital to look at delinquency rates, and the quality of current borrowers is not what we saw in 2008. These delinquency rates have been the lowest since the 1970s when mortgage bankers started to track these numbers. But are we still going to experience a crash in the real estate market? Considering all of these market dynamics that we can measure and what metrics we would have looked at leading up to the crash in 2008, these predictors are not pointing to a major real estate crash. However, if the unemployment rates increase, we will see more mortgage delinquency, which means more foreclosures could be hitting the market. Things may look like they did in the early 2000s, so it's understandable to believe we are in a bubble that will burst. But the fundamentals are vastly different. Although we don't see a bubble that's about to burst, we can't rule it out entirely because the cause of a crash could be factors we don't yet consider. My final thoughts? I believe we will see the real estate market start to normalize in the rest of 2022 with modest declines in prices that are normal to see in average economic cycles. These cycles, by and large, follow a predictable pattern. There will be market corrections across the US, but these corrections will differ in certain pockets. Our immediate economic health, job growth, wage increases, and population growth will determine the trajectory of our housing market. Inflation is the one outlier that is hard to predict and could dramatically impact our local area. We are already seeing a challenge for buyers in specific needs and price points. Still, the real question is, if inflation continues to increase at a high rate for an extended period, will we see this start to press on real estate markets across the board? If this video gave you some confidence back in our real estate market, comment peace of mind below. But if this video gives you further worry about the real estate market conditions, comment crash. Thanks for watching today's video. Definitely hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on what's going on in our real estate market here in the DC, Northern Virginia area. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.